Let's talk marriage and family life. Greetings once again from the office of Pastor Kevin Martin, and welcome to Let's Talk Marriage and Family Life. I am thankful for all of you that join and take out the time to watch Let's Talk Marriage and Family Life. And I pray that you are having a wonderful day. Just want to make this announcement. This will be my last podcast for this week. And next week I will not be doing podcast. I will be back on the following week. I want to talk to you about one of the most important needs of a family. And that need is be there. Be there. This is one of the greatest needs in this society and this generation. Be there. I want to remind you of the most comforting words from God to us in the writings of Hebrews. God said, I will never leave you nor forsake you. Hebrews 13:5. For he has said, I will never leave you nor forsake you. That is some of the most comforting words that we as the children of God can receive. It is a reminder. It is in the New Testament, and it's a reminder of what God said in the Old Testament. Twice in the book of Deuteronomy 31:6. Be strong and courageous. Be not afraid or terrified because of them, speaking of their enemy, for the Lord your God goes with you, and he will never leave you nor forsake you. Comforting words. And just 2 verses later, Deuteronomy 31:8, the Lord himself goes before you and will be with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged. One of the most needed messages from us parents to our families is, I will be there. I will be there. One of the most needed messages from us fathers to our families, I will be there. One of the most needed messages to the families from the mothers, I will be there. After being reminded of what the Lord said when he said, I will never leave you nor forsake you. When we read that in Hebrews 13:5, the reminder of what God said. Look what is said in the next scripture, Hebrews 13:6. We say with confidence, the Lord is my helper, and I will not be afraid. Because of those encouraging words that I will not leave you, I will not forsake you, we can with confidence say the Lord is our helper. And we won't be afraid. When parents neglect the family by not being there for them, it sets up a very painful chain of events with negative consequences, and it affects them their entire life. What I'm speaking about today is so important. Save your family. Save their future. Send the message, I will be there. If we neglect them, if we're not there for them, whether it be through death, through divorce, or non-involvement, it will affect them with negative consequences all of their life. Children spell love Time. Say this with me. Time. Children spell love Time. The amount of time is not the issue. It's the quality. Quality time with them. It's not that we're just there in a house, but quality time. They don't need a robot. We're in a generation, man, where they're pushing this AI and the robots, and we're seeing so much of that. Children don't need a robot. They need parents with skin on. They need parents with the sacrificial love of God moving through them, working through them, and passing on this sacrificial message of love to the children, to the family. So remember that. Children spell love Time. Be there. Be there. 1 Timothy chapter 5, verse 8. Listen to what this says. If any provide not for his own, and specially for those of his own house, he has denied the faith and is worse than an infidel. These are very sober words. They're worse than an infidel. They're not meeting the needs of their own. As parents, we are required by a mandate from God to set aside our selfish goals, our selfish lifestyles. Set it aside. Sacrifice. Send the message of love and the message of value to your family, to your children. He says if we don't, we are worse than an infidel. As parents, we are required with a mandate from God to do this and provide a cocoon of security for our kids. A cocoon of security for our families. It is so important. The needs are much more than financial. Their needs are much more than finances or material things. Be there. Be there. Be there. I can't say it loud enough and clear enough. Be there. In one of my Christian counseling courses by Mary Louise Rust, it's titled Father-Daughter Connection. One of the greatest family dysfunctions is abandonment. Abandonment. And she states that abandonment occurs when the parent physically leaves through death or divorce. When the parent fails to display loving emotions for their children. Abandonment occurs when a parent fails to encourage the children to verbalize their feelings. Don't keep them in a place where they're trapped and they're locked up and they're not able to talk and verbalize. It occurs when a parent fails to provide for the children's physical needs. It occurs when a parent abuses the family and children, whether it be physically, sexually, emotionally, or spiritually. Abandonment occurs in creating an environment where children are forced to become overly dependent. And I have seen this a lot throughout the many years of pastoring. I have seen this where parents are forcing their children to grow up and not letting them be a child. This is so important. Abandonment occurs when parents are so immature and irresponsible that children are forced to provide care for the parent, creating a role reversal. Abandonment occurs when parents fail to give their children quality time, affirmation, and a sense of direction, helping them, guiding them. And the last one, abandonment occurs as behavior from parents is so disgraceful that the child must cover up for the parent in order to keep the family in balance. Be there. Be there for your children. Mothers, fathers, it is our mandate from God for us to be there. Be there. Send out a loud and clear message. I will not leave you nor forsake you. Let me say again, send a clear, loud message. This generation desperately needs this. Send the message, I will not leave you nor forsake you. We as parents must set aside our selfish goals, our selfish lifestyles, and save our families. God bless you. Thank you once again for joining this podcast. And I pray the mighty hands of God to be upon you, to be in your family, and upon your children. I pray for divine healing and restoration in our families in this generation. We desperately need God. We desperately need to be a part of the sacrificial love, the love of God working through us and we help make a difference in this generation. God bless you. If I've been a blessing to you and you would like to give a love offering, you can go to our church website, www.atascocitaupc.com. All right. God bless, and I will see you not this coming Monday, but the following Monday.